we won't go from there. Let's pick up our first topic, which is E3. It's coming up soon. I don't know if you guys are the type of gamer that follows what happens at E3 every year. It's been in a show that historically Running with Scissors was always at, but I haven't been in probably about 5 years. So I'm not real familiar with the scene now, other than I know a bunch of big publishers aren't participating anymore, and this year is the first year it's open to the public. So I think there's going to be gamers there, not just publishers, media,
Business
and
type.
industry people. So that's pretty cool. And if any of our 5 fans out there want to take a look and come to the show, you're not going to see anything new from us, but I will be there. I am going to E3 this year. So look for one of these fantastic I Regret Nothing shirts in one of many fruity colors that I happen to wear them in. And if you find me, maybe I'll give you something for free. I don't know what it'll be. It'll probably be nothing of value. Maybe a kiss or a hug or a hip hug.
Or the lint from your pocket.
Yeah, I'll give you some fucking lint. But yeah, we'll be there, and I think it'll be good for us. I can't really tell you why we're going to be there, but we are, and we're going to be. We got some big stuff coming. I think the people that are listening will really like what we have to say, and we're not going to say it now. We're just going to tell you that it's pretty good.
Which, to be honest, is what we've been saying for about 6 months.
Yeah, but what we've been saying for 6 months is something completely different.
Yeah,
we've kind of had a change.
We metamorphosized, if you will.
But as far as everyone's concerned, we're still saying the same thing.
We are, but I think what we were going to talk about was everybody was going to be like, what? No, that's cool. Now they're like, fuck yes.
Exactly.
We may seem like...
Get hype.
Yeah, get hype. We may seem like one of the most idle companies known to man, but we're working. We promise you we're working on something. And, this team that we have here, I've been here for a long fucking time. And I've seen our teams come and go, and we've had good employees, bad employees. We've had great teams. We've had mediocre teams. We've got a really solid team right now, and they're really putting together some good stuff. I mean, the last 2 products we've done were mostly by this core team. And, for the 15 of you that played Postal Redux, you know that that's good. Oh, my God. What are you in high school?
Sorry, someone's just put in the chat saying, will it be Fidget Spinner DLC? So,
I don't have
there's an idea.
The Fidget Spinner DLC, is that what we're looking for?
I was actually going to put forward a jokey idea for something to do with putting the Fidget Spinner in, but I was going to leave it to a meeting.
Well, the question is Fidget Spinners going to be even remotely...
Yeah, this is if they're going to be relevant still. So
I'm
I suppose
looking
somebody
at
could quickly
I've got
make
that. So.
I'm looking at the Facebook feed, and it looks like it's completely wigging out to me. I hope I'm the only one seeing that. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, so E3, like I said, is coming up. What are you guys looking forward to at E3? Is there anything big coming? I don't even know. Like, I'm so far removed from giving a shit that...
Yeah, I've not kept up with it, to be honest. I usually try to catch some things from E3 if I can, but yeah, I've got no clue about this year, to be honest.
Yeah, I used to follow E3 religiously for a few years, but lately I've been trying to stay away from the hype machine of video games. So I've kind of been...
You're too involved with the Running with Scissors hype machine to give a shit about the other company's hype machine. That's what you're saying, right?
Right. Our massive, overwhelming hype machine that we have behind us.
Yeah.
Well, I think that I won't give a shit about anything going on there. So, let's continue to do what we do and not give a fuck about E3 in general. So,
but clearly, your appearance there is going to be the highlight this year.
Oh man, everybody just cares so much about me at E3. Come watch me podcast.
You've got no idea how many tickets you just sold.
No,
just by saying that you're going to be there.
I don't think I sold any tickets. Nobody gives a fuck about us. We probably have some fans, but most of them are in Russia and Latvia.
Yeah, I'd be interested to go, but it's a bit of a ways out for me.
We're probably going to be at Gamescom too, so that's a little bit more up your alley. If you guys are down to hop on a train and come down to Germany in August, celebrate my birthday with me. We're going to be at Gamescom.
Yeah, that's doable.
Well,
I say in August, is it?
yeah, it's right around the 24th, 22nd through 26th, I think, this year. So,
My birthday's at the start of August.
Oh, you're one of those. Is it August 5th?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I have so many friends' birthday on August 5th. That's why I said that. Fuck you. All right, so let's move
Sorry.
on from E3. Clearly, nobody gives a shit. We haven't gotten a fucking question about it, although I closed all the questions, so we might not have any yet.
Someone did come up in the chat saying, I'm a Canadian. I bought a shirt from you guys a couple of weeks ago. I'd like to say thank you, Mike, for fucking up my order. The Krotchy doll works.
Yeah.
Well, so here's the thing, and I think I put this on the website. You know, we ordered thousands of Krotchy dolls from China, and the intense labor that went into them for the 6-year-olds that put them together, half of them didn't work when we got them. And, you know, you can manipulate them. You can, like, fuck around with the innards. And sometimes you can get them to talk. And sometimes you can't. So I threw all the ones that I couldn't immediately manipulate to work. Is yours working?
No, it actually broke recently.
There you go. So I separated the working and non-working ones. And I don't know. You know, everybody keeps reporting to me that their non-working dolls seem to be working. So I don't know. Good for them. It's... You got lucky, bitch. So have
We
fun.
promised broken dolls and we failed to deliver. That's just the kind of company we are.
Yeah, that one doesn't work.
See?
Tickle me and I might explode.
That one does.
I got a question from Delta 2 X-Ray. Will Vince be coming to E3? No, he will not be making it this year. It is just going to be me. Sorry to disappoint. I know nobody gives a fuck about seeing me. They all want to run into Vince and hear his awesome views on the world. So he'll probably be at Gamescom though. So if you can get to Cologne in August, come on down. Come to Gamescom. It'll be fun.
Well, let me ask what everybody's going to be thinking. What's going to be your public policy on people urinating over you while you're there?
Over me? Like they're standing a floor up and they're pissing on top of me?
Sure.
I don't care.
Well, they could just be adjusting the arc.
Wouldn't be the first time I've been pissed.
Yeah, they could just kind of aim upwards and, you know, it would sprinkle all over you.
Oh, God. You guys have never done anything but play Postal 2, have you? You
I could take it a step further. What's your views on
pissed on somebody? Have you ever actually pissed on somebody?
I live in Eastern Europe. That's all we do.
Right, so it doesn't work the way you think it does. It works. You can pee on someone, but it's not as fun as doing it in the game. I think you need to
say so.
I think you need to ask your wife tonight if you can christen her with a little urine. No. You fucking put your foot down.
So it's a ask.
I've told my wife before, and I'm going to do it again. You know, sometimes you got to piss.
Mm.
That's true.
All right. Well,
What pisses me off is the smell and the mess.
Piss really stinks. You got a problem, son.
Piss doesn't really stink, but urine in general stinks.
To go get your piss dipstick, see what's wrong with it. Anyway, let's get back.
Let's move on from that one.
So we actually put out a patch for Postal Redux, which is probably unheard of because I'm not sure how many teams support failures. But we put out a patch for a game that you know still hasn't sold very much. So if you heard there was a loading problem with Postal Redux, which is a thing for running with scissors, we seem to have loading problems. It's a running gag over the last 15 years. We fixed it. There is now no more giant load for certain machines when you boot the game up. So check it out. I don't know. Tell your friends. Buy 15 copies. Do whatever you can because that game needs to sell more fucking units. We're also going to be supporting Linux here soon for it, and I'm sure the other 4 of you that give a shit about that will be happy. But Valve will be happy. Valve loves Linux. It's what they base their Steam OS on, and, you know, we're going to give it to them, just like they gave it to us. So, that's our Postal Redux news. I want to say sorry to any Mac fans we have, we probably won't be supporting Mac anytime soon. And it's not because we don't want to, it's because it's just not. Yeah, I also am a Mac user too.
I
Unreal
only use it for
4,
work.
Unreal 4 is not exactly very Mac friendly these days, and that's because Apple hasn't exactly released much in the gaming department for their computers. You know, they're very into streamlining the build of the machine, so that compromises graphics card technology. And while it will play older games like Postal 2 very well, it just will not support Unreal 4 stuff amazingly. That might change, and we may want to spend some time and money on it later, but the community is so small that it's just out of our purview currently. Sorry, Kurt. Sorry you cannot play Postal Redux on your little MacBook.
Gosh dang it.
Yeah.
Whatever will I do?
You can. You just need to dual boot that shit.
Or I could just play on this PC.
Yep, you can.
I don't use my Mac for gaming at all.
Yeah. So next question by Sage Hensley is a question that we get asked literally every day. It was the question that was asked every day while we were making Postal Redux, and it's been the same question we have been getting asked for close to 12 years now. Will we remake Postal 2 at any time? I think our universal answer historically has been yes, we want to. So we hope so. You know, it's not as simple as saying let's just do it. We're a different kind of team. We have a different kind of development type, and we have a different kind of budgetary needs. And that's a large project and a large undertaking. So it's safe to say we want to. It's safe to say we will. But nothing more to say about it at this time. So thanks for the question. You know, I wanted to go on a little rant today. Not that I haven't been ranting this whole time about toilets.
I've been wanting to hear this. I have no idea what this is going to be.
Well, this is something I've talked about before.
Okay.
It's a topic that you're very passionate about.
I am. I do a local radio show in Tucson. I'm their tech talk guy, and toilets have come up on their show. And the reason why it applies to tech is because I am a firm proponent of the way things should be done. Meaning, you wake up in the morning and you take a shower, right? That's just standard modus operandi. You are dirty, in quotes. You're dirty, you wake up, you hop in the shower, okay?
Yep.
All you did was, I mean, I guess you sweated all day long. You may have played a sport or gone to the gym, and then you slept. So you're dirty. You smell. It's a fact. You stink. You need to take a shower, put soap on your body, and you wash off, right? That is, I don't know how many hundreds of years now, thousands of years, people have showered themselves off in the morning, whether it was dumping a bowl of water over their head and wiping down with a towel, to the modern shower that, you know, does it all for you. But the part of life where we are significantly dirtier, we don't do that as a I don't want to say as the human race does, because there's plenty of the world that doesn't do that. But what we come to do as standard is we take dry pieces of paper and we wipe mud out of our assholes after we take a shit. Now, I get it. It's what we do. There's a giant paper industry that's behind this. But you listen, you're dirtier than you've ever been over the course of the day. Now, it's localized. It's not like you have shit all over your body. But if it was raining outside and you and your buddies went and played in the mud and you came back inside, would you just grab a paper towel, a dry paper towel, and wipe your arms off with it? No, you wouldn't fucking do that. You'd take a shower, right? Am I right? Hey,
I have actually just wiped myself down with paper towels. So,
but you're not clean. Yeah. But you're not clean.
Maybe I don't know. I'm not even that obsessed
fucking
with
lying.
meat.
You're both lying. You are both lying right now. If you ran around in the mud, you would take a fucking shower to clean off. That is a fact. If I rubbed peanut butter on your face, you would not wipe it off with a dry towel. You would take a shower.
I wouldn't take a shower with peanut butter on my face.
Something.
No, you would just let it sit there. You wouldn't wipe it off with water.
Yeah, but that's not. I wouldn't take a shower for peanut butter on my face.
Okay, so if your kid rubbed peanut butter all over your face right before you had a big meeting, you would just wipe it off with a towel?
I'd probably
not a towel.
just use like I'd use
you
a
would
moist.
wash your face. Forget the shower
Yeah.
word. You would wash your face.
Yeah,
which
I'd do that.
Okay.
Are you saying
so-
about jumping in the shower for
Whatever. It's
having
whatever. The honest comparison here is you would use water coming from some form of faucet to clean your face off. Correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, you would. You would
Yeah.
not walk around with peanut butter residue on your face all day. And wiping
No.
off with a towel wouldn't get it off. It would
No.
get off the exterior layer, but you'd still have peanut butter residue all over your face. Okay, so let's translate this to you just took a giant shit. Okay? And you have shit residue all over your asshole and your butt cheeks. And the standard MO here is to take dry pieces of paper and mash it around. Clean it around. Go one knuckle deep. Get as much as you can. But no matter how many times you wipe with a dry towel, there is still shit there. There's still poo particles. If a girl licks your ass within 2 hours of you taking a shit, you still have shit in your ass.
Yeah, the thing is, though, is I'd say that etiquette would call for if you know someone's going to be licking your asshole, that you'd be washing it out anyway.
Listen,
Yes,
etiquette
whether
doesn't
you've
mean,
taken a shit
etiquette
or
doesn't
not.
mean anything, okay? You can't plan for a rim job. They just happen, okay? Sometimes you're at the bar and a chick just wants to lick your ass, okay? And yeah, maybe
Well,
you
hey.
did shower before you went out, but maybe you had a cheesesteak before you went into the club, and then you had to take a giant shit. What are you supposed to do?
Well,
Tell
look.
her, sorry, you can't lick my ass. I've shit recently?
No, well, listen. If you're just gonna randomly start eating people's assholes that you met in the bar, you're kind of accepting the risk that asshole's probably gonna be a little shitty.
Well, no, I don't care
Yeah.
if she gets shit in her mouth. I care if I have a shitty ass.
Well, then
Yeah, but
why
that's
even
like-
bring,
that's
why even
still
bring
up
the
to
rim
you.
job part up?
Because I like to be clean, okay?
Yeah,
I like to be clean.
well,
I
that's
like
fair
to-
enough. That's something that you can.
Right now, I
sort
can
out.
I
walk
think
around.
you're a little obsessed with being
Right
clean. Like
now,
you feel
I
like
can-
you're a dirty boy and you can't get clean no matter what you do.
Oh God, the tranny's telling me I'm a dirty boy. Thanks,
Yes.
Rich. Listen, my point is, if you go to Japan, something like 95% of their toilets have bidets installed in them. Okay, 95%. The Japanese are a clean assholed folk. Okay, they know what they're doing. I'm not saying they don't have small dicks. I'm not saying that they don't have a weird fucking language, but they've got clean assholes. They know what they're doing. The United States, I don't even want to guess what a percentage is of fucking bidet to toilet ratio. In my house, it's 100%. I have 3 toilets, I get 3 bidets. Because you know what? I don't have to walk around my house to clean my ass. If I take a shit downstairs, I want to be able to fucking clean my ass.
All right, I'll agree with you that bidets probably they make your asshole cleaner. You're gonna have a cleaner ass.
You want to
but-
know what else they help you with? Let me expand on this, okay? This is a concept called enemas. Have you heard of an enema?
Yes.
Okay, so let's say you're having, I don't know, a little trouble, or you got a big log that needs to come out, or, maybe you've been taking some painkillers, and, opioids cause you to be a little backed up. You spray your ass with a little water, and it gets in there. It's got to come out. This helps you. It helps facilitate a good dump. And I had abdominal surgery almost 2 years ago now. And of course, I'm all hopped up on whatever the fuck they're giving me because I was in so much pain. And if I didn't have a bidet, I would have had serious problems because, number one, I couldn't squeeze because I had abdominal surgery. And number two, I was on painkillers. So whatever was in there was rock fucking hard. And my abdominal muscles were completely wrecked because they were cut open. So I used... So I use a bidet, and it helps you go. So in multiple facets of life, it cleans the outer part of your asshole, and it can help clean the inner part of your asshole. It causes outer and inner beauty. This is a... I mean, think about, if you want to talk about carbon footprint here, you're using significantly less, paper. You're using a little bit more water, but, it's it's not that much water. It's not like you're filling a bathtub every time you take a dump. I don't know, man. I just feel like this needs to be a bigger thing, and I do whatever I can. Whenever I go to a wedding, my gift is automatically a bidet. I buy people bidets as wedding gifts. I don't know if they use them. I don't know if they've installed them. I'm just spreading the gospel. I think...
You didn't buy me one.
Well,
we haven't got room for one, but it doesn't matter.
You have what?
We don't have room for one.
Yeah, you do. You fucking attach it to your toilet seat, my man.
Well, you can have it like in the toilet.
Oh my god, I'm gonna...
I thought bidets were always separate from the toilet.
Alright, let me...
We don't have to go into
No,
this.
I'm going to go on Amazon, and I am going to post a basic bidet, which is like a good starter bidet for your bathroom.
Every bidet I've ever known has been a separate unit to the toilet.
Those are the old caveman
post
bidets.
that into the Twitch.
Yeah. I'm not even going to look at it now.
No,
I'll look at it
open
after.
it. Open it right now. I want you to see what it is, so you can see. You take off the toilet seat, you attach this onto the toilet seat, and then you split the water line from the wall, and then you just have a little switch next to your toilet seat, and it puts out a little arm, and the little arm sprays your butt.
Yeah,
this is not an advanced toilet seat. I have a $400 bidet at my house, which is a complete toilet seat replacement, and it's powered, and it heats the seat, and it has like massage settings. Those are where the shit gets real, okay?
Literally.
Here, I'll post it. This is a nice one right here. This is a nice... Post those into the Twitch if you will, Marcin. This is... I'm telling you, you can get a good starter bidet for about $20 on Amazon, all right? $20 to make your asshole a lot cleaner. And then if you feel this is a good thing for you, then you can upgrade, spend $300-400 on a nice powered one that can keep you warm in the dead of winter. It can dry you off. Some of them have dryers. The Japanese ones have little perfume sprayers, and they can...
I'll say that I'm a long way off being in a position where I can prioritize 400 quid
No. But you don't need
for
that.
a bidet.
Right. That is overkill. Do you know what I mean? The $20 one, that's where it's at. I'll buy you one, but you better promise me you'll install it.
Okay.
All right. I am now proclaiming I am buying our fucking sound guy a bidet so I can spread this fucking gospel. Okay. I know that I've gone on these rants before, and I'm not going to convince everybody, because for some reason there is a stigma that spraying water on your asshole is gross. Okay? People have said to me when I tell them about this, they go, "Oh my god, that's so gross." And I'm like, "Please elaborate. What's gross?" I'm like, "Well," and then they try to explain it to me. No, it does not. It feels great, okay? And they're trying to tell me that
depends if you like things tickling your asshole.
I don't want to walk around wet all day, and it's like, all right, well, it dries quickly, number one. Number two, it's not like you're giving birth here. It's not like there's that much water coming off to you. And number three, would you rather walk around shitty all day?
Your assholes are supposed to be shitty. That's just how we are.
No, your colon is supposed to be shitty. You're not supposed to have mud on your asshole all fucking day. That is stupid. This is like being raised to think that the sky is not blue or that the earth is flat. You're not supposed to walk around with a shitty ass. And if you think that, then you weren't taught how to wipe properly, which is not uncommon. I'm pretty sure my little brother didn't learn to wipe properly until I fucking yelled at him about it. Because if I'm stuck wiping, I'm wiping until that's gone. And I go one knuckle deep, because you got to keep going, man. You got to get it all. But still shit.
I think you might be a little too obsessed with anus cleanliness.
I think it's important.
Fair enough. If that's your passion in life, I can't take that away.
It's not a passion, but it's just a thing. And
no, not
more
at all.
Of a thing when I try telling people about it, and they're like, I try telling people about it, and they're like, "Oh, yeah."
Well, it shows the amount that you talk about this. I've never heard you talk about this, but in the chat on Twitch, before you even mentioned what you were about to rant on, people were going, "Oh God, here comes the bidet rant."
Well, Rich knows about the rant. I've had this rant in the Discord chat before.
He's ranted about it in our Discord, and I think he talked about it in a previous podcast.
Yeah, I
episode,
probably
didn't he?
have. Now, a
Yeah, I
while
can't
back
remember. I
when
must
Vince
have
was
blanked out.
redoing stuff in his house, I forced him to get a nice bidet for his house, and he was like, "What a fucking waste of money! I don't want this." Blah blah blah, and I made him do it, and now he's got 2 of them. He fucking loves it. He is a believer. My parents, the same thing. When they redid their house, I made them get one. They were like, we're never going to use this. Firm believers. It's a fucking thing. And believe me, there is no better feeling than a nice, fresh stream of water massaging your asshole after a good dump. I guess we're gonna have to revisit this because I'm buying you a bidet and we're gonna talk about this again. So
I gotta figure out how to set it up and all that, but
no, it's seriously a moron can do it. You turn off the water to your toilet, you put a fucking little splitter elbow on the water line, and you plug a new water line into it, and then you just attach this to the bottom of your toilet seat, and bam, you're fucking ready. Or in South America, I've been in South America where they don't have toilet seats built into the bidets, but they have like sink style spray things, you know, like the thing to spray off your dishes. They have those hanging next to the toilet, and then you can like power wash your ass with that. Actually pretty good. Those are pretty solid. Those are a good way to clean you. If you want the South American way to clean your ass. All right, we're done talking about bidets for now. I know you guys are getting a little bit overwhelmed with all of this asshole talk.
I was just finding it funny that there was an in-depth discussion about bidets, and then I looked over the chat, and there was Marcin putting explaining what an enema was to people in chat as well.
Sometimes you gotta explain things, you know. Like
I'm not saying you don't. It's just kind of, what the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah, I know.
But
okay, a couple more questions while we're in between topics. One of our fans wants to know what microphone I'm using right now. This is a Razer Siren, actually. Normally I use a Yeti, but let me go on a little rant about Yeti right now. My Yeti broke about 2 months ago. It stopped working, and look, I know that the type of service I provide in the customer service realm is ridiculously top notch. I answer every email. I replace products when I fuck up orders. I take care of things immediately. Our team fixes problems with games. We take care of people right away. And I don't expect the same level of service I provide, okay? But in the age of Amazon, and I'm sure it's like this in the UK too, Amazon is insanely good about their customer service. You buy something, if it's a problem, they fucking replace it, or they fix it, or whatever. But when you buy something from Amazon and it breaks way down the line, you have to deal with the manufacturer. And, you know, Blue Microphones is a huge company, you'd think. This is a big, major mic manufacturer in the world, and historically, they're one of the top mic manufacturers. I could not get in touch with anybody there. I called every day for a week. I emailed every day for a week to the email on their website that says, if you have a problem, contact here. And it took almost 2.5 weeks before I got a single response about where to send my broken microphone. Then I sent it to them, and they didn't confirm they had it for another 2 weeks. Then they didn't confirm that they tested it and it was broken for another week and a half. And then they sent it probably by horse to me when they replaced it. So in the end, I got a new microphone. It's in a box over there. But there is not a fucking chance I'm going to take it out right now until I have to, because that was one of the worst experiences I've ever had with a very simple tech fix. So right now I'm using a Razer Siren, which was provided to me by Razer. My old AMD rep has been working at Razer for a while, and he hooked me up with some stuff. I also got the Razer headphones here too. So there you go. That was an unimportant question that I answered with a long...
Like, you should put in a few orders for me from Razer.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Next question. I remember seeing a Postal game released on PlayStation. Did that actually happen? And how popular was it? Okay, Travis Feist. You, my friend, have had a stroke. We did not release any Postal game on PlayStation. We were planning to release Postal Redux for PS4. It was approved. We could have done it, but it was, kind of last in the chugging line of development. And, well, the game just didn't sell very well. So, making our first game on console would have been very important and a good thing to do, but it just wasn't financially possible with the waiting. So, you can blame your friends and your fellow Postal fans for that one. Sorry about it. Next question. Do you ship your products in Italy? We sure do. If you go on our web store, which is postalgames.com, just proceed through the order process and pick your country, and it'll give you the right shipping price, and I'll ship you whatever the fuck you need. Oh, God. Postal 2 in its current state for consoles. Well, Postal 2 has no state for consoles. The engine we used for Postal 2 was a really fucked up pre-release build of Unreal 2. There is absolutely no way that game is coming out for consoles. And unless we ever get to remaking it in Unreal 4, then it won't be on consoles. So, cross your dicks with your friends and hope to fucking God that we remake Postal 2 one day. Because, that might get your fix in for it. Let's stop taking questions for a while. Let's go to the next little topic I had up here, which was the other day, it was announced that Steam is going to be doing some, exclusive video releases, kind of like Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime and CBS, whatever the fuck they're calling it for the new Star Trek show. But the new video project that's coming out is going to be made by Neil Blomkamp, who is the director that made District 9, Elysium, Chappie, was the original director for Halo, and the project's called Volume 1. Did you end up watching the trailer, Kurt, when I sent you that?
Yeah, I did. It looks really cool.
I didn't even watch the trailer.
Yeah.
I told you about it, and I meant to watch the trailer, but I fucking forgot. So...
A lot of the clips on there reminded me quite heavily of District 9, like the aliens they were showing in the trailer. Right. But I don't know whether he's got it like stuck in his head of aliens for me always look like this, or if they're supposed to take place in the same universe or what. But yeah, it still looks pretty cool.
I get the impression that those prawn aliens were developed for his Halo movie, and he's still bitter about that one. Although he did have a fucking smash hit with District 9. That was one of the biggest box offices for such a tiny budget for a first.
The lampshade's walking away.
The what? Oh, my dog. My dog just had surgery. Come here, buddy. Oh, you want to say hi? Nope, he doesn't want to get on my lap right now. Come here. Ah.
Aww.
He does not like this thing right now. But he had a little lump on his leg, and my vet thought it best to cut it off. So I don't know what it was yet, but it wasn't a good thing. So now it's gone, and now he needs to wear the fucking lampshade for the next 3 weeks. Oh, now he wants to hang out. Hey, buddy, I think he probably needs to pee, but he can wait. So yeah, I like the idea of videos coming direct to Steam. The problem I have with it is I'm not a huge fan of sitting and watching stuff at my computer. So unless you're running the Steam Link, which I guess I have, or they add a Chromecast feature to Steam, which maybe they're going to, you're kind of stuck watching it on your computer, which I guess is fine if they're short films, but I mean, who the fuck's gonna sit and watch, exclusive content on a computer only thing? I don't know. I guess people do that.
I think one of the things that they're probably aiming for are the Steam machines.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I didn't even think about Steam machines. I forgot
they are.
those existed. I had a couple of those, but yeah, you're right. Okay, I'm fucking stupid. But that seems like a very narrow market to be aiming
yeah, but they are trying to push that market quite a bit and trying to expand it, I guess.
Just like
I really don't see any other
the Vive market, right?
There's a part of me that kind of wants them to stick to just being a games outlet. I mean, like, they already do some videos and TV shows, films and TV shows anyway. But I don't think it's a terrible idea, as long as they don't try to just focus on that and just let the game side of it run itself or anything. But I don't think they would.
Nobody really knows what Valve's thinking at any time. They are a odd bird, to say the least. They have a very weird company structure, and they don't tell people very much.
No.
Yeah, very secretive.
And they're worth more than just about every other fucking company combined. So, good for them, I guess. Wish I could have a little bit of that cash. Black 666 Roses wants to know, where is everyone based? I think the transvestite is in Latvia, which I said I couldn't pick out on a map, but it's somewhere in the eastern bloc of Europe.
Yep, that's about right.
And Kurt, he's in the northern part of the UK, I believe. Am I right? No?
Midlands.
Midlands. You're in the middle of the UK. I don't fucking know. I've been to London once.
I don't think I've ever told you where I'm located in the UK.
Well, I remember you lived somewhere near when John lived in Manchester.
I'm probably about 2 hours south of Manchester. So.
There you go. So John was farther north in the UK. All right, well, I have no sense of direction in that place. And Little Old Me is in Tucson, Arizona, where Running with Scissors has always been. This place blows. It's hot as fuck. We're located.
Come to the UK, it's colder.
Yeah, we're located pretty close to the border, and we are in a blue city in a deeply red state. So we've got that going for us, which is nice. Whoa wants to know, what was the inspiration behind the Krotchy character? What were you guys thinking that you came up with him? Well, unfortunately, I wasn't actually with the company quite yet. The design for Postal 2 was written in the 4 or 5 months before I started at the company, and it was made by a guy named Steve Wick. And I mean, he probably just had balls on the mind all the time, and I know
probably
he
just took a bong load, was playing with his nuts, and started.
Yeah, I mean, the whole doll thing. The whole doll thing came from the Tickle Me Elmo craze, which was going on back then. And that's why Bad Touch Krotchy came from. And I know Steve used to have a crotch fan at his desk because he had sweaty balls, and I don't know, probably something along those lines, but we've kind of taken it and just ran with it from there. We love Krotchy. We would love to make a game specifically about Krotchy one day. The problem is that it's literally balls. Like, it's a lot more offensive than you really give it credit for. Like, I have all these dolls in the office, and I have friends come with their kids, and the kids are naturally drawn to the dolls in the office. And I have my dog here a lot, and I just have a big box of Krotchy dolls over there, and he continuously takes one out of the box over and over and over. And you know, there's little balls and there's little beads in there. You know, it's like a Beanie Baby, and it's bad for dogs. Don't let your dogs eat your Krotchy dolls. But the kids that come in here always want the dolls. And, you know, they don't talk anymore, which is good. But, you know, the parents are like, oh, cool, you had a doll. You got a doll for my kid. And I'm like, no. And then they look at it and they laugh and they give it to their kid. And it's like, oh, all right, cool.
This talking one, back when we were at our previous house and I was set up in our front room, my daughter used to pick this up off my desk all the time and was...
Squeeze me. Daddy said on me, you can touch me like that.
Your daddy in that situation.
Yeah, she loved it, but of course she didn't know what it was saying or anything. It was just making a noise, and she didn't know what it was. But I was just started looking at it going,
yeah,
probably not.
Not the best thing for a child.
So I don't let her have them now.
No, that's probably for the best. Krotchy dolls are not made for kids. All right, and one more question. It is, are you glad that the folks at Akella tanked? This is kind of a tough question because for all the shit and shade that we throw at Akella for Postal 3, they were a very good partner. We had a lot of fun in Russia. We did a lot of good stuff with them. They were a really big company for a really long time. They brought us out there a lot. They put us in front of a lot of fans, and they did some good stuff, and they were doing great. The original builds of Postal 3 were pretty cool, and you know, you can't blame them for what happened with the economy. The economy tanking took its toll on everything in the world, not just Postal 3. And what are you supposed to do? I mean, when the video games industry was starting to drop like flies during '08, all these developers left the industry because suddenly the banking industry was in need of coders and all these people, so they were all of a sudden offered real salaries elsewhere, whereas they were making nothing in the video games industry. So you know, all these top notch developers that they had left, and when they switched to the B team, things kind of still were okay, but then the B team left, and then the game was put on hold, and it was like at that point it probably should have just died and gone away, and we could never have to talk about this. But they somehow regrouped and put together the fucking F squad, and the F squad basically finished the game and packaged it for release, and then they all got fired. So you know what shouldn't have been released was, and it is what it is. And from there, they went out of business. Now it's not Postal 3 that put them out of business; it's a lot of different factors. But no, I don't. I'm not glad that they tanked. There are some people there that I don't mind seeing that failed, but I really would have liked them to succeed, because if they succeeded, then we would have succeeded, and Postal 3 would have been a much better game. It would have at least been playable. Fun is a subjective thing, but it would have been playable, and if they would have made at least decent money off of it, maybe the game would have not been so shitty. And even if it came out crappy, it might have been able to be fixed. I mean, at least the showstopper intro bug was fixed before they fired everybody. But no, we're not glad they tanked. But it is a funny story now.
This is the only thing that I suppose you could say you could hold against them in a way. Like someone's asked, I guess Akella doesn't want to give up the source code. Is that it would have been nice if we could have had that to do any fixes ourselves and things like that going forward.
We haven't had an official conversation with them about this, and there's a lot of reasons why. A, because there's not a company to really talk to anymore, but B, we've discussed this at length with people that were involved, and it would, not that there aren't people out there that could help, there probably is, but it would be a serious fucking undertaking. And while we considered it briefly about potentially taking this in and seeing if it's something we could fix, it just wouldn't. It's not. There's no upside to it. To be frank, like let's say Running with Scissors as a team took in the Postal 3 source code. We hired a couple of Russian-speaking coders because that's what we'll need, because all of the code is notated in Russian. And we started to fix the game. I mean, there is a finite amount of people that will actually buy that. Whereas if we just said, fuck it, let's make a whole new game, that it will be the true next Postal. You know, that's just the what makes the most sense for us. It's not worth relitigating a steaming pile of shit. Even if your asshole is cleaned by a nice bidet, you move on to the next piece of shit, because that's what we're going to do. We're going to move on to the next piece of shit. It's the fucking 20th anniversary this year, folks. And on that note, we are going to be putting together a Postal 20th anniversary edition box. There will be a collector's edition, just like we did for the 10th. I haven't finished putting everything together that I want in there, but it will be released sometime in the late third or early fourth quarter to coincide with the actual 20th anniversary of Postal 1 coming out. But But we've got some cool stuff that'll go in there. It's not going to be anything fantabulous, but it'll be pretty cool. And for those of you that like to buy our boxed products, we will have a new one for you this year. And it'll have every game we've made except Postal 3, unless I can somehow finagle a bunch of keys out of a person that has access to producing them at Akella, which I guess I could try if you guys all really, really, really want that. I don't think you'd miss it, but, you know, it's a free game to add into the mix, so maybe I'll try. I don't have enough keys left personally, and they'll be gone soon, so... and our last major topic, which we do every show, is kind of like a media blitz. Like, what have you guys been watching? What have you guys seen lately? I know Kurt said he saw Guardians of the Galaxy. I did see it too. Did you see it, Rich?
No, I didn't. Not yet.
Well, then you can fuck off for this part of the conversation. Did you see the first movie? Did you see the first movie?
Yes, I did. I liked it.
Well, the second one's worth a watch. It's a good film.
Oh.
It's probably about 25 minutes too long. They could have cut out a lot of nonsense, but it was a very good film. What do you think, Kurt?
I really liked it. I heard a lot of people saying about that it seemed to go on quite long.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard a lot of talk about both Guardians films having a problem with their second act. And I don't see it personally. I was quite happy with the length of it. I was happy with the overarching story of it all. So yeah, I just really enjoyed it myself.
It was good. I need to go see it again because my wife wants to see it and she didn't get a chance to go with me. And the day we were supposed to go, I said, "Nah, I'm going to see Aliens," and she didn't want to see that shit.
Mm.
But you guys should see Aliens. That is the new Alien movie is fucking awesome. I don't know if you guys were fans of Prometheus.
I saw that.
You saw Covenant?
Well. Yeah, I did.
It was good. I'm actually glad. I didn't realize for the longest time that they were actually making it a sequel to Prometheus. I think actually it came out a while ago that they were not making it a sequel to Prometheus, and then all the media that came out about it was like had nothing to do with David, had nothing to do with where they were. It was just more murder scenes, and then all of a sudden they kind of dropped that prologue out like the week before it came out, and it's this long scene of David and whatever the fuck the girl's name was that got off the planet with him, and it was a full-on sequel to it, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it made Prometheus a better movie, even though Prometheus, I think, had some huge fucking problems with it.
I'd argue that. I really thoroughly enjoyed Prometheus. I thought it was an excellent sci-fi movie, but Covenant I thought was also a very worthy sequel, though I'd say Covenant had quite a bit of problems. I thought the alien, the way they showed the alien at the end and how it like behaved was really silly, and I could have done without the robot kung fu fighting scene, you know.
Did you think that the alien scene was better or worse than a female lead running away from a ship that's rolling directly at her instead of, I don't know, running any other fucking direction? I mean, really. Stupid.
All right, I'll give you that one.
And you're right, there are problems with it, just like Prometheus. When they land on this planet and they all go out there and they're clearly infected with something, why are they allowed back on the ship? What the fuck? Why do we not have containment protocols when we have interstellar fucking travel? It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, there were containment protocols.
No, you let them right on the fucking ship.
Well, into the med bay of the ship.
Well, it doesn't matter. No,
okay.
Don't get on the ship. Stay on the fucking planet.
It was obviously enough, wasn't it?
I guess. But it was good. I did like the movie a lot.
This is where I'll get told to fuck off from Mike. I've not seen any of the Alien films.
No, that's
fuck off.
No, Rich will tell you. I don't care. That's totally fine by me. You should. It is good viewing. The original two movies are very good films.
That's what I've been told, and I do plan on at least watching the first two at some point. The only
stand
things
by
I've
seen as well. I think Alien 3 was still pretty good to watch. Resurrection was where it got ridiculous.
I think that before they made Alien Covenant, the prospective plan was to have Neil Blomkamp direct an Alien movie, and it was basically going to be a retelling of Alien 3. And it was going to rewrite that fucked up history. And that would have been the project I wanted. But that didn't happen. And it looks like it's not going to happen, which is kind of a shame because I think he could make a good Alien film.
As I say, I've not watched it. The only things I've seen in like the media about Covenant, or since Covenant, one, Ridley Scott has apparently turned around and said he's listened to the fans and he won't be doing the 4 sequels to Prometheus that he was originally planning. So I don't know about that. There was another one I was going to say. Apparently Covenant is meant to be filled with plot holes.
Well,
again, I don't know.
every Alien movie is filled with plot holes.
Yeah. The third one, when you say about Protocol coming back on the ship, I saw a comic strip that showed that what the story setup is for the Alien films, and one like comparing the first Alien to the last one. I can't remember what they did for the first one, but this Covenant one, they just showed some guy picking up one of the eggs and going, "I'm going to take this on board," and that
Pretty
was
much. Yeah.
So,
they all
which sounds like a stupid
they all go
setup.
on these planets, they wear these protective suits, and then they just fucking touch everything. I mean, I realize it's dumb movie shit, but it's sometimes a little aggravating to watch. I don't know.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I'm also looking forward to Ridley's other movie that's coming out soon, which is Blade Runner sequel.
Yeah.
I'm
interested in that.
I'm not what you would call overly a fan of the original Blade Runner. I think it's a cool world, and I think it's a cool setup, but I think it is one of the more boring films in the history of sci-fi.
Liked it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a film noir.
I didn't watch it until 2 years ago. I think it was the first time I saw it.
To be fair,
I really enjoyed it.
To be fair, I have not seen the final cut, and maybe it's because I thought that the original cut was so bad. But the word is you're supposed to watch the final cut. It is much, much better, and I haven't seen it, so...
Yeah, it's only the final cut version that I've seen. Like I said, I really enjoyed it, so...
I need to watch it, especially before this new one comes out, so I can get me some...
I was put off a little bit of the first one when I heard that they cast Ryan Gosling in it, because I'm not a fan of Ryan Gosling in general, and it was just one of those things. If I heard the name and went,
douchebag, Ryan Gosling's amazing.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But I saw the trailer and it has got me excited for it. So.
It does look good. You know, nowadays with our CGI tech, we can make sci-fi movies a lot more interesting to watch. You know, I really would like a solid remake of Fahrenheit 451, 1984. You know, these are things that should be redone. I heard recently, actually, that they're planning on remaking Minority Report. What the fuck? That movie just came out, and it's amazing. I think that's all studios are doing these days, is remaking stuff.
Yeah. I actually think Minority... I heard the other day, I can't remember what film it is, so it's a bit useless trivia, but Minority Report was meant to be a sequel to something, and then they passed it off to some other writers, and they just, like, changed the script a bit and made it its own thing. Apparently it was supposed to be a sequel.
Minority Report is based on a book.
Don't know.
Well, whatever. Those are the films. I mean, obviously this year we've got some bigger films to worry about. I mean, we've got episode 8 coming out this year, so we're still 6 months away from it. But I still could feebly jerk off to the brief teaser trailer that's come out that I see every time I go to the theater now. And I mean, I'm all aboard that fucking hype train.
Yeah, same here. I saw a thing recently where apparently Mark Hamill actually said that he read, I can't remember his name now, the director of episode 8.
Rian Johnson.
Yeah. He read his script, and after finishing it, turned around to him and said, "First thing I want to say is I completely and fundamentally disagree with everything you've decided to do with
Luke Skywalker's character." You know what I would have said to Mark Hamill when he tells that to me? I would have said, "That's why you're an actor, not a writer."
Well, this is the interesting thing, because he turned around, he said that, but then he said, "But I'm here to do my job. I'm paid to make your vision come to life." And that's what he did. He said he just wanted to get that off his chest and then just moved forward. But it's interesting to think that the guy who has obviously been Luke Skywalker in everyone's minds for 40 years.
Well, unfortunately for him, he's not really known as anything else. And that's not because... And that's
Joker?
Well,
Joker.
No, you're right. He
He's a voice
Yeah,
actor these days.
he's a
more
voice
than
actor.
anything.
I get that.
Yeah.
But that's not what people think of when they think of Mark
No,
Hamill.
no, no.
And it's
No, no.
not because he didn't do a whole lot else. I mean, he didn't. But that was obviously going to be the biggest movie of his career. I mean, you know, you look at someone like Harrison Ford, and while that was the movie that sort of made him, people don't think of him as Han Solo. Like, he's got a million big characters that he's been. You know, like,
Yeah.
he did all the Tom Clancy stuff. He did all the
Indiana Jones,
Whipcracker,
Fugitive.
motherfucker. Yeah. I mean, you know, he's made a career. Mark Hamill, on the other hand, is this might piss some people off, but a very mediocre actor at best. And he clearly didn't get a whole lot of roles after that movie. So
He is described himself as a character actor,
okay,
which I think is right.
Why doesn't he have a whole lot of character acting roles?
Well, he got into doing voice acting. That he seems to really enjoy that, and he's doing well at that. So
he did the space flying game years ago. I seem to remember him in. I can't remember what it was called.
I say his big voice acting thing is being the Joker in
Right.
the Batman games and animated.
Hey, listen, to me, he's Cockknocker in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yeah.
Okay? That's the only thing I know him from, and that's what he'll stay in my mind. I see. With that note, let's okay. There he goes. You gotta go tend to child.
I'll be right back. Oh, I'll just open the door.
Let's see what happens here. Is he wearing Star Wars pants?
I'm online.
Are you wearing Star Wars pants, Kurt?
Yeah.
Oh.
You want to say hello to you?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello,
Hey.
kid.
How are you?
Yeah.
No, you don't want it anymore.
Are you wearing
Oh
Star
no!
Wars
Don't grab the
pants, Kurt?
crotchy. What's that?
Are you wearing Star Wars pants?
Pajama bottoms, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nice. That wasn't planned.
I don't go out very much, so I wear
Star
pajama
Wars
bottoms.
Star Wars is not even written into our talking point sheet, so that's cool.
Yeah.
You know, aside from movies, well, I guess there is one more big movie coming out, which is getting a lot of big press, and that's Wonder Woman. I don't know how familiar you guys are with the recent scant run from the DC universe and how shitty it's been. And quite honestly, I've had zero interest in seeing Wonder Woman. It's just not a character that interests me. But the reviews are in, and it is looking like it is an amazing film. I think it's still above 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. Which,
Really?
yeah. It was at
Wow, that's
93%
surprising.
yesterday. Let's see. 92% right now. And I think it has 100-something reviews already, which, you know, I know some people don't put a whole lot of stock into their tomato meter, but I do. And I think, you know, if the general consensus is that it's reasonable, it will be reasonable. That doesn't mean it's going to be amazing, but if the general consensus is that it is a pile of shit, then it is a fucking pile of shit. And I base my money-spending, film-going activities on tomato meter scores because it's expensive to go to the movie theater. And if something's mediocre and I really still want to see it, I can wait until it comes out on streaming services later on. It's not that big of a deal. So I put a lot of stock into the tomato meter. And if it is certified fresh now, which means it has enough reviews that there is no way it goes rotten. And it's got 137 reviews and 92%. So that means that it's at least not a piece of shit.
I guess they finally turned their quality around on that franchise.
No doubt. And I mean, that bodes well for obviously bigger films they've got planned, like Justice League and
Right.
Aquaman.
The problem is here, though, is I don't put all of my stock into Rotten Tomatoes. There have been times where they've had really good scores and it's been a terrible film by the fans' standards or the viewers' standards. Shh, quiet your face. So I don't know. I'll
You're
wait
right.
to
I
see
mean,
it
there is,
to
but there is
decide.
two different scores on Rotten Tomatoes, and one is the media, and the other is what fans say about it. So, you know, like you look at Pirates of the Caribbean right now, and it's got a 31% on the tomato meter, which means reviewers thought it was garbage. But the audience score is 72% right now. I mean, I get the impression, though, that it's a lot easier for a a casual moviegoer to just simply give a movie a 5 or a 1, whereas a reviewer has to write, 1,500 words about why they did or didn't like anything, and usually they don't even give it a score. So, there's a difference. I mean, we're the example of a company that has a fucking Metascore in the fucking toilet, but our user review score is in the fucking clouds. So, I understand. I don't put all my stock in reviewers, but I do like to keep my movie spending money, I don't know, with a higher Metascore, I guess you could say. Kid's reaching for something. Looks like it's the Krotchy doll.
No, it's my Batmobile.
Your what?
Batman. Batmobile.
Got it. We were talking about this before the show, and you guys asked what the fuck it was. There's a show on Hulu right now called Handmaid's Tale, and I know the name sounds totally stupid.
Sorry.
But Handmaid's Tale is basically if children of men went further, and instead of women just stopping being able to reproduce, that somehow the religious right militarily took over the country. So basically, the United States becomes a Iran of sorts, and this religious cult has taken over the country, and they've taken in all the women that can actually reproduce, and they force them to be basically sex slaves to the commanders in their military. It is fucking insane. It is really, really hard to watch sometimes. I mean, it's basically like sort of dystopian rape. I don't know how to explain. It's got the main girl from Mad Men in it, and I don't know. It's fucking good. It's a book from the '80s by Margaret Atwood, and it's good viewing. I highly recommend every one of you tune into Handmaid's Tale on Hulu.
It seems to be all the best dystopian future things were all written in the 80s.
Yeah, well, but you watch this and you go, fuck, this could happen. And you say that because it's happened in other places. Iran in the 70s was like a nice free society. And that came to a screeching halt when the Shah took over. And now it is, Sharia law and all kinds of crazy shit. And it's a smaller sample size, but it's not it's not something that can't happen. You fucking roll your eyes at me, Rich, like it's not a possibility, but it's a possibility. I mean, women stopping reproducing. I mean, what did we have last year with the Zika? What if Zika got out there and fucking women just had to stop producing because every baby they were giving birth to had microencephalitis? This is all serious shit, man. It could happen.
Fair enough.
Mask.
I already got my kid. I don't need any more.
The 80s were a dystopian writing time because the 80s were a coke-fueled writing binges. Sounds about right. That's how we write our games. Are you guys familiar with Twin Peaks? Did you guys ever watch Twin Peaks?
Yes, big fan. Big
I
fan.
have not quite started the new season yet. I am watching the second season again with my wife. And
yeah, I haven't caught up to the new stuff either, but I'm going to rewatch all the old ones, and then I'll get into it.
What a fucking weird show that shit is. Oh my God.
I fucking love it. I love how weird it is. It's great.
Have you watched it, Kurt? So,
No.
Twin Peaks is like a bad soap opera that's melded with like really, really weird, cryptic fucking shit. And it's intentionally bad. I mean, it's not meant to be good. Like, the acting is meant to be bad. The scenes are meant to be weird. The music is meant to be bad. It is fucking crazy watching. Like, and what's cool about it is, if you go through the IMDb for the old show and the new show, it has a ridiculously long cast. And it's because while the main cast is very similar every episode, there are one-off characters in just about every single episode of the show. So if you go through the new season's cast, you'll recognize tons of names, but it all says one episode. And that's just David Lynch's way of just throwing in as many people as possible because, I don't know, I guess in the early 90s, they all wanted to participate. And clearly 25 years later, they want to solve this mystery, which I guess, Agent Cooper did say. He says, in 25 years, I'll be back. He is. Literally 25 years later, Twin Peaks is back on Showtime right now. So, Kurt, you should fill your time with all these shows I tell you to watch. Did you ever watch The Expanse?
No, I never find time. That's the problem. That's why I very rarely have things to talk about when we get onto like the films and TV show stuff.
Yeah, I got all the episodes of The Expanse loaded up after your last recommendation of it, but I haven't gotten around to watching them yet.
2 months ago?
Yeah.
Well,
no, I mean, I want to. It's just, it's hard to find a moment where I'm like, okay, I can just sit down and watch some shit.
Someone says Twin Peaks rocks, but not as much as 13 Reasons Why. And I haven't watched that yet because I really am not, I don't know, it's like, do I really want to sit and watch a show about suicide notes? I don't know, it just doesn't
I'm a little confused by obviously if I read into it, I'd probably find out just like that. But I'm a little confused by it because it sounds like it's one person making a tape to multiple people as to why she's killed herself, which sounds weird to me. Why would you do it to multiple people for multiple reasons as to why you've done it? But like I said, I've not read into it, so I'm probably got it completely backwards.
Well, Delta 2 X-Ray says, trust me, it is a really awesome story. And yeah, people brought up Alan Wake. Alan Wake is a game that was basically made in the ilk of Twin Peaks. It was meant to be a sort of Twin Peaks knockoff. Now we've got a whole season to watch, which is fucking crazy. Like, what do they think they are, running with scissors, making an add-on to a game 12 years later? They did it twice as long, 25 years later, with a bunch of the same actors, which is pretty cool. So, so I'm all out of topics here, and we clearly don't have any more questions. So it's been over an hour. It's been a little over an hour since we fixed the audio problem, that is.
Right.
Yeah.
I hope you all had a fun lesson on how dirty your assholes are. And I hope you guys all enjoyed our inclusive trans host, Rich. Thanks for coming on, Rich, and exposing your small postal collection in the back there.
Well, it's just the stuff that I know you wouldn't want me to expose, the Russian Postal 3 stuff.
Bitch, I have the fucking pink Postal 3 collector's box right there. Let me show you this.
Oh, he just wants to show it to me because he knows I desperately want one and I can't find one.
Postal 3.
Yeah, I want that. I want that box. I really do.
Rare. Very rare. Look, it's got its own Krotchy doll, its own like weird off-brand Russian Krotchy doll. It's actually not bad. It's got their collector's edition
breaks
box
everything.
here. No. And then it's got this massive fucking art book. Pretty cool. I don't think I've ever really looked through this. And you want to know why? Because I don't give a fuck about Postal 3. But it is cool to have this collector's edition that not many people have. Even John doesn't have one.
Yeah, me and John are really on the hunt for those.
What's funny is when we were working on the package art, I actually threw together some really rudimentary boxes that had just very basic coloring on them. And one of them was a bright pink one, which I just kind of threw together as a joke. And well, clearly, Akella took it to heart, and they made that a reality.
Oh, it's a pimp-looking box. It really is.
No, it's good. I like it. Mikey always has the goods. Yeah, I got some goods. All right, guys, I'm going to cut us off here. Thanks for listening, and tell your friends. You know, it was cool to do this on 2 different services today. I hope everybody had fun watching it, and bye.
Peace. Take care.
See you guys.
And only the same song that